Welcome to the Money Over 50 podcast, brought to you by Dallas Davison and Michael Hogue from Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. This information is general in nature and does not take into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs. Therefore, you should consider whether the information is appropriate for you and your personal circumstances. If you require personal advice, please contact Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. Here are your hosts, Dallas Davison and Michael Hogue.
Welcome to Money Over 50. Today's topic, does thinking about money hurt your head? Michael.
Last week, Dallas, so we're getting some renovations done, and part of those renovations is a new bathroom, new ensuite and a new bathroom. So anyone that's done that would know that you have to make all these decisions, like looking at tiles and
things
all of those types of things.
Things that you've never thought that there was a decision that you would need to make is a decision that you need to make. So.
I need to make it, and to my wife's credit, Susie's been doing 95% of all of this. Like, she's been meeting with interior designers and all those types of things and picking out certain things. But she said, I'm just really struggling with the tile in our ensuite. Can you come to the tile shop and have a look with me?
Yeah.
So last Saturday we went to a tile shop, and we walked into the tile shop. We had Richie and Margot, our 4-year-old and our 3-year-old. The tile shop was good enough to have a little kids room there with toys and a television and Netflix and all of those types of things. We set them up in there. And Susie takes me out onto the floor, and she says, come and have a look at this tile. So we're looking at this tile, and she says, can you imagine this tile going on the floor of our ensuite, and then, you know, that little part of the wall that sort of...
The splashback. Is it splashback?
Well, she was just talking about a section of the wall.
Yeah.
You know, it would run up that side, and then it would stop here.
Yeah.
And then we'd have this nice bathroom feature tile that would be in a different part. And can you imagine that going up there? So she's showing me these two tiles. And we're 4 minutes in, I reckon. Yeah. And I said, no, I can't imagine any of that at all. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I have no... I have no head for this. I have no way of knowing if that colour is going to be too much when it gets spread out. I can't see the vision. I can't do any of these things. And I actually said, I'm really, really sorry, Suze. I've got to go and sit down. I just cannot think about this. So I've gone into the kids' playroom area at the tile shop and started watching Shrek with the kids. And it got me to thinking, there's people out there that thinking about money for the first time or thinking about their retirement, it hurts their head the same way as trying to visualise these tiles in my future new ensuite were hurting my head at that point in time as well.
Absolutely. I think that's, I guess something we've talked about in the past is that all of the we've done 140 odd podcasts by now, and there's all these different components to retirement planning that people may never have thought about, and we love it. We get really into the weeds on this and this, how does this all bolt in together, as a previous podcast discussed, and this different timeline of in 10 years time this is what will happen, and then how do we adjust for that and all that sort of thing. And I think that this is it's not that we're geniuses or have some super huge IQ. It's just that we have a head for money. We have a head for numbers. We understand money intuitively. And I don't mean that we're, again, geniuses about we don't know where the NAB share price is going to go or what Amazon's going to be worth in 10 years' time or anything crazy like that. It's just that we get numbers, we get money. It all makes sense to us, and we can a lot of these concepts. Even a new concept as it relates to, a new piece of legislation will come out, and we'll read over that, and we can sort of see how that might play out in different situations, and just discussing it over a coffee, work out, okay, well, who would this affect and who wouldn't affect and who will benefit and who won't benefit. And that's just sort of very natural, easy process for us. But as you say, I think you're dead right. There are a lot of people that it's not easy, and this is the point of the beauty of our modern capitalist system is that we all get to just spend our time and energy on the thing that we are brilliant at. The person who was working at the tile shop, I'm sure, that was talking to Susie about this, who's selling tiles, they get tile. They know, they understand colour and, you know, the room and how things tie in together and all those sorts of things at a level that you never will and probably would never be able to get to, even if you did torture yourself and try to do it.
Well, here's the thing, Dallas. So I could have made, I could have chosen 2 tiles there, and I could have helped Susie do that. Would that be a disgusting bathroom? No, it wouldn't be.
No.
However, is there someone more skilled at it than I am? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the lady that did at the tile shop did help help out Susie after I went and watched Shrek with the children.
After he ran away.
However, and additionally, our interior designer has done a fantastic job as well, and she had narrowed down some of the selections. So we were just even looking at the narrowed down versions, and I said, look, Susie, can you bring Malia to that's our interior designer, can you bring her to this tile shop and actually make those decisions? And so she's contacted her to do that. Yeah. Will they come up with a better result than what I came up with? Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Even though, and probably probably what I'm leading at there is that there are people that do very, very good jobs of approaching retirement and thinking about money. Sometimes they miss things because they just don't see it in it's just not their job, it's not their specialty, where it is our specialty. Yeah. I think there's probably 3 main types of listeners that we have here. Number one, we have people that love thinking about money, and they're the people that listen to all of our podcasts. And hello to everyone out there, our regular listeners. We love you. So you guys love thinking about money. There are a lot of those people that tend to be self-directed and handle their own finances. On the other end of the scale, there are new listeners. They're probably new listeners because they're probably thinking about money for the first time in a long while in 2021. And they detest thinking about money. So they've been dragged to the tile shop, the metaphorical tile shop, to have a look at ensuite tiles. What they're doing, those new listeners, a lot of them, I think, are thinking about money for the first time in some time. They've probably just turned 55, or if they're thinking about it earlier than normal, they've turned 50. They've had some sort of milestone birthday. The good news is you don't have to listen anymore. Make contact with us at podcast at mo50.com.au. I would be happy to set up a Zoom meeting with you from anywhere in Australia to talk about what we do for clients like you. And then there's someone in between. So say a hello to Anna from Sydney. Say Anna listens to all of our podcasts. Anna has just recently become a client of ours. Now, Anna loves thinking about money. She loves everything. She's listened to all of our podcasts. She's put friends and family onto her podcasts. She loves all of that. What she was struggling with is bolting it all together. So we've done a podcast just recently called Bolting It All Together. So go back and have a listen to that. So we're able to help Anna. She's become a new client. Her and her husband have. And, they're approaching retirement in the next 9 years. We've been able to help bolt it all together for her, and that's without going into too many. Obviously, I'm not going to go into personal details or anything like that. But suffice to say, she really loves it. She loves spending time thinking about money. She loves time researching where we've been able to help is how it all bolts together.
It's funny because I was laughing as you're talking about those clients who hate thinking about it and are doing it sort of against their will. I've got a client of mine. G'day, Jimmy, if you're listening. He comes in every meeting we have. Comes in with the same expression, sits down in his chair, folds his arm, and goes, "Righto, let's get this over with." It's as though I'm a dentist and I'm going to perform surgery on him without any anaesthetic or something like that. It's just he doesn't want to have to think about it. Doesn't want to deal with it. Doesn't even want to have the conversation, but just wants the end result, wants to be able to live a great lifestyle in retirement and wants to know that himself and his wife are doing everything they need to do. And so that's, I think, as much as it pains him even having to think about it and talk about it with me, at least he then goes, right, I've done that. I've done my bit. I've had my dentist appointment for the 6 months. He can now go about his normal life and do what he wants to do without having to have that nagging feeling of, oh, geez, I probably should be doing something about that or thinking about that. So I think, yeah, you're dead right. If you look at that scale, I've got even people who are clients now that I think of, I'm laughing, is that they don't, it's not as though they look forward to our meetings, but they look forward to having finished the meeting, so that they know that they've done it. They've done their duty for another 6 months. They've had their meeting. They know what they need to do now moving forward. We normally try and put all that in place, either in the meeting or as soon after as possible, so that we can go, right, that's all done. Everything's on track. You just need to keep doing what you're doing now for another 6 months. So, yeah, I think that's exactly right. There are a lot of people that it hurts their head. They don't enjoy it and they don't want to think about it. There's also, I think, going back to the other groups, I have other clients that they, in any couple, I think there's always someone who's more across the money or the budgeting or the cash flow or that sort of thing, and practically they do a lot of the logistics of the internet banking. Like, I've got new clients who came in the other day, and we were talking about, they've got two different bank accounts. They've got a potential car changeover, and we've been talking about making contributions, and that would allow them to pick up a $20,000 tax refund with the amount. So it was almost like one of those, the carnival trick where they've got the cups and the P under it. And as I started talking about, we could do this in this way and move this money to here and flow it across to here, and then there'd be this refund come in here, and then we could do this via this finance. And I could just see that the new client was just looking at me, and it had that look probably like you at the tile shop, where she's just going, I don't... And she's across it all. She's very intelligent and handles all the money. And what I realized as I was talking about it, I was more talking to myself, and I stopped and just went, okay, what do you want in this bank account as a buffer? What would make you comfortable and sleep at night? $30,000. Right. Okay, great. I'll go away now and do the planning of how do we have money flowing in, going out, going into super, back out of there, tax refunds, car finance, anything like that, so that we end up in the situation where she handles the money. She's thinking mainly about the money out of that couple, but she didn't want to know how that sausage was made. She just wanted to know that she was going to be able to continue to do the things that she wanted to do, and be able to handle that, and was going to have a good handle on their finances and on their cash and all the rest of it. But it was again one of those things where I could see the physical pain that I was causing her by trying to go into the level of detail around that. And that was sort of that middle of the road one where she understands and wants to know and wants to understand that, but didn't want to have to make all those decisions the whole way through. Just wanted to know that we were working on it as a team.
Yeah.
And then I think that's, like I say, I'm thinking about clients even the clients who really get all these concepts and love it. And I think the big one is that for most people is that fear of missing out, is that, even if thinking about money doesn't hurt your head, there's still a nagging thing in the back of your mind of what is the thing that I don't know about, or that I should be, I don't know that I don't know. So I think, you're right. There's those three categories of people, and most people listening to this will probably be able to self-diagnose and go, which one of them am I? And that's, I think, a great point, is that if you are that person that loves thinking about money and you're happy doing that on your own, and you're happy being self-directed, and you're confident that you're not going to miss anything, then that's a part of what we want with this podcast, is to be a resource for those people to be able to get some new perspectives, new information. But for a lot of people, if you're listening to this, or if your spouse is trying to make you listen to it, and you just go, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to know, thinking about it hurts my head, as you say, that's sort of what we're here for.
Yeah, look, if either you don't like thinking about money, or if you love thinking about money but are just having trouble bolting it all together, making sure that you're taking advantage of everything you can take advantage of, everything that's afforded to you to take advantage of, please get into contact with us at podcast@mo50.com.au. We'd be only too happy to look over your situation, set up a Zoom meeting. It's at no cost, that first meeting, or no obligation to you, and we'd be only too happy to meet with you via Zoom or if you're locally face to face, and actually start the process of taking that worry, taking that headache away from you.
Now what I'm waiting for is someone's going to ring up and they're going to try and offer a barter system where they say, Michael, I'll go to the tile shop with your wife on your behalf if you do my financial planning for me. Unfortunately, that role's already been taken by the interior designer.
Yeah.
But Mate, I must say I'm surprised that we've managed to get through this whole podcast without you making any mention of the fact that Roger Federer has a tennis coach. We've done it, so it's been successful.
To do that, I would have had to. It would have implied that I was some sort of specialist in tiles and interior design, and I'm not. I have no idea. I just don't have the vision for it.
Yeah.
I can look at something and say, yes, that finished product looks nice, or I don't like that finished product.
Yeah.
Look, the process of actually going through it and making all of these micro decisions to get this finished product looking the way that it should look, I just have no hope of doing it. And it started to physically hurt my head after about 4 minutes. So that's the inspiration for this podcast title. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Money Over 50 podcast with Money Over 50 Financial Advisors. We look forward to catching up again soon.